Good evening. We're going to call the regular meeting to order. It is now 7 o'clock. Requirements of the sunshine law have been met. This meeting was advertised in the Burlington County Times. Electronic notice was given to the NJC 5:39-1.5. We will now start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now have a moment of silence. Roll call.
Committeewoman Dr. Caldwell, she did indicate that she would most likely not be here this evening. Committeewoman Ms. Maddox Canteen.
Present.
Committeeman Mr. Carr.
Here.
Committeewoman Ms. Mungo. Present. Mayor Henley.
Here.
You have a quorum. Also present, Township Solicitor, Township Clerk, Township Administrator, Deputy Township Administrator, our Police Chief, Fire EMS Chief, and our Public Works Director is here.
Thank you. Discussion, we now have a 2025 best practices inventory with Jim Brady's explanation.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, committee members have a copy. This is the annual best practice inventory. All municipalities within the state are required to complete this. It's based on a scoring system, and in it are scored. Some of the questions, the answers are scored. Others are unscored. There's core competencies, etc. Basically set up by the state to basically capture what the municipality is doing and not doing in accordance with what the state determines as best practices for the municipalities. Some do not apply to, obviously everything will not apply to every municipality. But at the end of the day, what really matters is that we have to have a score of 40 or higher in order to maintain our 100% state aid. We meet that criteria, therefore we will have no negative impact. We will receive our state aid for 2026. So if there's any questions you have about any of the Q&As or how we answered them or any background in depth, I'm more than happy to field any questions. If I don't know right now, I can certainly get back to you. Our finance department answers some of those, as you can see, some of those main questions, and many other ones are based on different policies and practices in the past.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes, October 7, 2025, regular meeting minutes. Do you have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Maddox Canteen.
Yes.
Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Ms. Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henley.
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
Reports, we have Fire and EMS, Police, Public Works, Court, and Construction. We'll now open the meeting for public comments on agenda items only. Please remember to state your name and address for the record. Please remember that it's for comment only, and to write your name on the podium. With no comments, do you have a motion to close?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolutions. 150-25, payment of vouchers. This resolution approves the payment of bills through October 28, 2025. Do you have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Maddox Canteen.
Yes.
Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Ms. Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henley.
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
151-25, resolution to conduct online surplus property auction, Gov Deal. Do you have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Maddox Canteen.
Yes.
Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Ms. Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henley.
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
152-25, resolution to adopt township policy and procedure manual. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Maddox Canteen.
Yes.
Mr. Carr.
Yes.
Ms. Mungo.
Yes.
Mayor Henley.
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
153-25, resolution awarding 2024 local road improvement contract. Do we have a motion?
Motion. Second, it says 23.
Yeah,
It's
I
supposed to
think
be
it says
24, right?
24.
Uh-huh. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Ms. Mungo?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
154-25, resolution authorizing the payment number 1 to Arrow Paving Company for 2023 road program contract. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Ms. Mungo?
Yeah.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
155-25, resolution authorizing the Township Committee in support of staff to meet in private session and authorizing the exclusion of the public from that portion of the meeting dealing with specific issues requiring non-public discussion, attorney-client privilege, litigation, and contract negotiations. Do we have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Ms. Mungo?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
156-25, resolution authorizing TDV tax exemption. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Ms. Mungo?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
4 yes, motion passes.
157-25, resolution approving tax refund for totally disabled veterans. Do we have a motion?
Motion. Oh, second. Canteen.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Ms. Maddox Canteen?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Abstain.
Ms. Mungo?
Yes.
Mayor Henley?
Yes.
3 yes, motion passes.
We now open the meeting for public comment. Please remember to state your name and address for the record. Remember that public comment is for comment only, and please write your name and address on the pad on the podium.
Gabriel Barron, 138 Winstead. I'm wondering if this is going to have to be on our radar in 2026. I've been taking a look at, apparently the EPA is seriously thinking about abolishing the endangerment rule that they established back in 2009. I don't know if you've been tracking that at all, but the gist of it is that the federal government essentially assumed responsibility for enforcing pollutants in communities, and they would go after polluters who they thought were endangering the Earth's environment. It has something really primarily to do with greenhouse gas emissions. But the change of administration and a different approach to the EPA proposed that they would actually issue a finding of non-finding of endangerment, which it effectively would sort of null and void that entire regulation that was passed way back when. So the practical effect is that if that does get adopted, and I believe public comment closed on that on September 22nd, I tried looking at public comment today. I couldn't see any, but there were supposedly over 500,000 comments made, and they released something like only 2% of the comments. I don't know if any municipalities in Jersey banded together and issued a comment. Do you guys know? Was there any?
I haven't heard of that.
So one of the practical sort of effects, and this is a reason why I think it may have to be on our radar, is that if that does get turned over, that's going to essentially fall to either one of two sovereign entities, either the state or you, the municipality, to potentially want to bring an action, meaning litigation, to sue these presumably alleged polluters. We got an election coming up. I have no idea what's going to happen in Trenton with the legislature and the governor, so I don't know if the state is going to take this up, but regardless, that may be the first place to look to see if the state's going to take this on. Obviously, if they don't, I'm wondering if other municipalities that are neighboring with us are going to do something about it. So it may be worth a conversation to see if our neighbors are interested in possibly putting together an action plan if and when it actually becomes necessary. And even if there technically isn't a polluter here within the township, we may still be forced to be a party. So it's just something I think that may be something that we have to put together. And I don't know if you're going to have to appoint, you know how you have these various committees, rec committee, you know, Timbuktu, et cetera. I don't know if you're going to have to appoint something like that just to kind of keep, you know, your finger on the pulse of what's going on there. So that's just my comment.
Thank you, Gary.
Gary.
Lori Eustace, 14 Canopy Drive. This relates to the homeless. I put a post out there. I'm sure probably everybody's read it because it went pretty far. I was at work the other day and I encountered a homeless woman. Did what Felicia told me to do, which was totally useless. Called 211. Well, if any of you have ever had to do that, she says there's nothing she can do because the temperature didn't reach 31 or below. No code blue. She hung up the phone. I called the cops. They came. The man was very, very sweet. And he said, if they take her to the hospital, they'll charge her with trespass. I don't know what that means, but that's what the Mount Holly cop told me because it's Mount Holly, but I'm hoping we'd be better here. So there's really no recourse, and she was elderly and she's diabetic. So I looked at her and I said, you don't feel too good right now, do you? And she's like, no, I don't, because my foot feels numb. And he looked at me and he said, okay, we're going to take you to the hospital now, but we got to do better than this. I'm hoping it's going to be better. Because what's going to happen to that poor woman?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
No other comments. You have a motion to close?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Dates to remember, Township Committee meeting, November 25th at 7 p.m. Recreation Committee meeting, November 12th at 7 p.m. Historic Commission meeting, November 26th at 7 p.m. Land Development Board meeting, November 5th at 7 p.m. Committee liaison reports and comments.
I don't really have anything, but I do want to comment. I don't really know what to say, but I felt, you know, like moved to. I actually had to call for somebody myself, and I know, and this was last year, and it was a similar thing. It wasn't code blue. Luckily, I guess they get one overnight per 6 months or a year. I don't know what it is. They get like one hotel free. I don't know how it works. But this woman was able to get the one, and then she was then hooked up with some services within the county. So, you know, from there, she was able to receive services. And I think what you're saying is a real true testament of what's going on and, you know, why we needed the homeless shelter to support people that are in the streets and need support and need these resources. But I thank you for your compassion with that woman. That's all.
Good evening, and I'd like to thank everyone for being in attendance this evening. Appreciate all of the reports that were submitted by Fire, EMS, Police, Public Works, Court, and Construction. The information was very informative, and it does help to set the landscape of the activity of the township. Just wanted to give kudos to the Recreation Committee, the senior bingo that was held on Saturday the 18th from 11:30 to 1:30. It was an awesome event. We had over 85 seniors. Todd, Rob, the cafeteria staff at the middle school, and all of the volunteers did an excellent job. And it's something because you never know when you do things like that how you can make an impact on someone's life. We had so many seniors coming up to us basically saying they were looking forward to this for weeks because it gets them out the house, it gets them to socialize. Todd also received a number of emails. I want to read one to you that I pulled out of the bunch. It says, hello, my husband and I attended the senior bingo luncheon. We had such a nice time, and we were so impressed by how well organized it was. Thank you so much for a lovely afternoon. We really appreciated it. You don't know what you did for us. I created an account for both of us so we can stay tuned for any future events that you might have. These are the type of things that we do, and we appreciate the feedback, and we'll continue to try to make an impact in the community. Also, we had a trick or trunk on Saturday, the 25th, from 2 to 5 p.m. We had over 300 kids. We had over 400 pumpkins, a DJ, dance demonstrations. Again, kudos to Todd, Rob, and Public Works and the volunteers that helped put this event on. It was very nice. The attendees were very complimentary of everything that took place that afternoon to try to, help the kids have a good time for Trick or Trunk. So that was a good event as well. Thank you guys also for coming out and extending your comments and concerns. We don't take these things lightly. I have made it my mission to try to go out and do what I can. You'll see my car all over the city, at bus stops and at locations, speaking to the homeless and finding out if they need help and if we can do anything for them, services that we can get. I know the mayor probably, when he sees my number sometime come up on his phone, he knows it's something that I'm, asking him about or something we can do. Can we get some help? So we're very cognizant of what's going on. We have our finger to the pulse of what's going on, and we'll continue to do what we can to try to be of assistance, as well as continuing to provide the best possible quality of life for the residents of West Hampton. So that's what's important, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you for your compassion, and thank you for your concern. And Gary, as always, you come with some really good things for us to think about, and we appreciate you thinking about West Hampton and being concerned and coming out to share.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. I just wanted to highlight a great team over there that's working hard for West Hampton every day. The mayor and I had an opportunity to meet with the administrative team recently. I just wanted to highlight our construction official and his team made our construction office more efficient. They've 5X'd the anticipated revenues for the year. That goes a long way to help us keep our taxes low next year and make improvements much needed. Not to take away from any of the hard work and the chief, Chris. But trunk or treat was awesome. Had fun there. The mayor made me do the kid and play dance. Other than that, thank you everyone for coming. Have a good night.
Try to make it short and sweet. One, the American Legion building, I don't know if you can see like the work that's getting done on there, which is a commitment that was made. A resident was really torn about the way the American Legion building was falling apart and everything that our veterans have given to us, and for them to have, their building that they can't be proud of. Now, it's taken some time. They got a grant, and it took a little while for them to get the grant. So it's something that we've really been waiting on, and it really looks good. Like riding by, seeing the guys over there working and painting, it looks really good. And I'm actually surprised they're not here. I seen them at the trunk or treat. They were, part of a group that was handing out some candy, as well as a lot of the people you see to the left of us, or to the left of me, so right of you all. But now they're going to need a roof. So these are some of the things that. I know it hasn't been brought up in a long time, but we used to talk about like funds that we got, like community redevelopment funds, and I think that we got like $250,000, and we spent like $30,000 or something like that. I'm guessing some of the numbers, right, on the basketball court, and it was always like, well, we could spend the money on this, we spend the money on that. We kind of wanted to make it something that was impactful, so like maybe, I think that was something that we talked about, doing the new roof with some funds like that, right? And then we have some guys from some of the local unions that are going to volunteer their time and redo the porch and the stage over there because it had that huge indentation, and pull the bricks out, put the bricks back in. And those are the things that we try to, everything doesn't come. Sometimes when we see the effects of what we do, that's just what's happening now, but it's been something that's been worked on for year after year after year. So sometimes it seems like it's empty promises, but all in the same, it just hasn't come to fruition yet. So thank you for your patience with all these things. We continue to have new things that we champion and work on. And, so what I will say, like what Gil's bringing up about the homeless, and ma'am, you brought it up as well, just had a meeting the other day about trying to figure out solutions, like not passing the buck, but just trying to figure out solutions to make it a better situation for everyone, which is tough to check off that many boxes, right? There's, you have people on each side of what you should do, but trying to discover what's the right thing to do and what's the right solution is not always very easy, but something that, we've discussed as a committee, we discussed as an administration just the other day of what we can do and what's fair to our residents, what's fair to, someone who, may have found out in some way or another that they don't have a home and they don't have a place to go, which unfortunately, there's many people, not just in West Hampton, but all over, who may be 2-3 months away from being in that same situation. So, also with the help of the county and being able to maybe get some vouchers or whatever that looks like, right? I mean, there's not one way that everyone has a different situation of how they got to where they are. So there's not one way to fix it. I'm sorry that you went through what you went through with that lady, but even after that, I'm glad that you were there to give her compassion and be able to help her. And at least for a moment, show that, you cared and you want to get her in a better place. Whether it was Mount Holly, whether it was, and I hear you, and I appreciate that. And it doesn't matter if it's Mount Holly, it doesn't matter if it's Burlington Township or wherever it is, right? Like, it's just a part of humanity, but also we want to be fair, right? And make sure that we're also not enabling, right? We want to make sure that we're putting people in the best position to get help and be successful and to be able to move on. So I think that that's a challenge that we've challenged ourselves as a committee, and we've challenged our administration to do the best thing we can to find a solution to a problem that seems a lot of times to have no real solution. So with that being said, we're not going to adjourn. We will now enter into executive session. We will not be returning to an open meeting. So have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.